on YouTube. Now we are,
Oh,
hopefully,
now we
yes.
are.
We were actually in my Twitch thing by mistake, so there's that. But yeah, so yes, we are finally live. So yeah, anyway, I'll do the shameless plug again over here. But yeah, that's like the channel right there. And we were supposed to start yesterday and kind of like, get this going. But I don't know if you get this at all. I get like motion sickness, which is weird because I'll play certain games, I won't get motion sickness. But I was literally watching a video of like the free games this month coming up on PlayStation or whatever, and they were showing footage. If I watch somebody else, I definitely get motion sick because then I'm not controlling the motion of who's turning where, kind of a thing. And dude, like, it freaking screwed me up big time last night. Got all dizzy, went to bed early, and got up this morning. It's in the background, I can feel it, but hopefully I'll get it. But
I've been
yeah,
playing a lot of Call of Duty recently, and I'm not a shooting game kind of person. If it's not Hitman or FIFA, I don't play it. And listen, Call of Duty, so much motion in that thing. Like there's so much movement. You got to turn in this. Oh my God. It's like, it's literally a game designed to give you a headache. But turns out I'm actually good at it, so I'm not going to complain.
well, I don't know. You consider yourself good at FIFA too, so
which I am.
You
activate cheat codes and stuff. When I play against you, fucking Jota plays like Prime Maradona, which makes absolutely no sense. Therefore, this is not even a debate to be had. Like, this is just a non-conversation.
Yeah, like Call of Duty, I can play. I mean, I play all the time. But like if I'm, like sometimes I do the DMZ mode for those who are familiar. And so when you're dead, you get to see, your teammates until you're picked up or whatever. And I can't watch somebody else really play for long, especially if they're making sudden movements, because like I say, the eye coordination is weird. And some games will get me motion sick, and
Call
some
of
games
Duty is like 90% fucking movement and sliding and jumping. Like, imagine if this is real war and they're just jumping and shooting each other.
It depends on the mode you play, I think, too. There are some maps where it's so small, all it is people like just jumping and flying. But if you do DMZ, which is like a huge city, there's not as much of that unless like you're in a close quarters fighting or whatever. I'm sure you weren't watching last week's episode of Anand's. Yes, Anand's multiple personalities. Yeah, I mean, I knew Anand would not be able to keep up. Not that we're not swearing at all anymore, mind you.
Okay, I didn't swear. It slipped out.
And I think, you can mark it as on YouTube, like as Anand was on air, or he slipped again. By the way, happy Valentine's Day.
Happy Valentine. I got the red not because of Liverpool, but because of Valentine's Day. It's got Sabosla in the back, and I did the Sabosla hair slick. I mean, hello.
That's your Valentine. So, okay, I gotta ask you this, because Serzi actually was asking me earlier. He wasn't asking me, but he like made the joke online when we were chatting on Discord. But so, how long have you been married?
5 years.
5. Do you still do? See, 5 is kind of low. Do you still do?
It'll be 5 in June. Yes, actually,
you do still do Valentine's Day.
Yeah, today, because of how busy today is, like we've got this, and then I've got a meeting, and then I've got a call at 3. It's a busy day.
Nobody does Valentine's Day first thing in the morning, bro. Like, I'm just saying, like tonight will there be Valentine's Day festivities?
The missus is working, and then has a root canal, so it's going to be a rough day. So we did our Valentine's Day yesterday. Is actually one of my favorite Arabic singers. He's in town. We went to the concert. We grabbed dinner. We grabbed dessert. Grabbed some tea. Did all the gifts and all that. Took a loan out to buy a gift. Sold my kidney. So it's a good day. It's a good day. It's a good day.
So I might be.
It's also my brother's birthday.
Oh, happy birthday! We might be in the we don't really do Valentine's Day anymore, because I feel like there's like all these Hallmark days like Sweetest Day and stuff like that. Well, once they get more serious, I feel like Sweetest Day gets eliminated, and then then once you get married, I feel like that's what we just had our anniversary, for example, last month. So the anniversary kind of trumps.
So I'm probably gonna get canceled if there's women on the video here today, but I'll tell you this: Sweetest Day is for when you're new in a relationship or you're not guaranteed. Once you're guaranteed, locked in, when you go fishing, you use bait just to catch the fish for the first time, right? You don't keep feeding the fish. Once you catch it,
like, this was going stupid. Why would people be offended? And now I know. Okay.
Once you catch it, that's it. It's your fish now. You ain't feeding that fish no more. You eating that thing, right? So it's the same thing with Sweetest Day. Like, before you're in a rush, happy Sweetest Day. Here's a teddy bear and chocolate. And then once you're married, she's like, what about sweetest day? Be like, yeah, it's pretty sweet, isn't it? This is gonna get me canceled. All
Yeah,
right,
I mean
lads, let's do this.
I think it's levels, isn't it? I mean, I
Yeah.
always see it as levels. It's like sweetest day, then it's Valentine's Day, then
Yes.
it's anniversary, right? I mean, how many
Yeah, and then don't
holidays can
forget you got to throw birthdays in there, and then there's a lot of in betweens, right? Then you got Mother's Day, and then you got there's a lot going on. So like you cancel sweetest day because like who the bleep even celebrates that? Like
See,
it's like
your little one is little, so you have to also be the kids on Mother's Day, right?
yes,
So
yes.
here the question to the audience is: if you have older kids, I remember, I will never forget this. I had a dude working for me, Zbyszek, this old Polish gentleman, and we're like talking. It's like Mother's Day coming up, or maybe it is Mother's Day. I don't know. This is when I was at Menards, and I was like, "Hey, Zbyszek, what are you doing for Mother's Day? Did you get anything for Mother's Day or whatever?" That was the conversation. Like we're in the office in the back, and he's like, "I didn't get anything. She's not my mother." I was like, "Aha, that's good. I like that." So obviously, as they get older, like our girls now, one of them is college, one of them graduated college and stuff, so they get their own things. I don't do like Mother's Day anymore. When they're kids, you kind of have to coordinate things.
You gotta get a card and write it out as if you're fucking 8-month-old. Sorry. You're freaking 8-month-old.
Well,
Hello,
this shit ain't getting monetized.
Yeah, you just gotta write it, and then like you gotta make it seem like the baby wrote it, and like why the hell does he even know how to write? Like what are we doing here? Who are we lying to? They're like you give it. It's like, oh my god, this is thank you, honey. I'm like, he doesn't even know what this is.
So thoughtful.
Best son ever. Really? Because he didn't even pay for it. Like, what are we doing here? But I'm not.
So this says we have older kids. God help me if I don't make a big deal about Mother's Day. Yeah, I don't know. We kind of like do most of those things low key. We kind of like use the kids as they get older. They should be in charge. Damn it, it's their mother.
Yeah.
I'm the dad.
I mean, if my 1-year-old is in charge, how are your old kids not in charge? What are we doing here? Apparently,
you know what? I'm gonna tell them that too. People that 1-year-olds in charge. You guys can't handle one gift.
Apparently, he went and got jewelry and flowers, and he did all that. And she thanked him. I didn't even get
if you get freaking like sweetest day, Valentine's Day, but I mean, what are you gonna do? You have to buy a stock in a chocolate company if you're gonna be buying that many chocolates and teddy bears. There's not enough room to go around. So I'm assuming the Anand household is full of chocolate right now. And cheese, as we all know.
Plenty of cheese. What's funny is I actually had a cheese sandwich before I hopped on. So thought about you the whole time. I was like, oh yeah, cheese. And put a little bit of olive oil on it, a little bit of za'atar. It was actually quite delicious.
A little bit of what? What was the last thing?
Za'atar, which is like thyme. We eat
okay.
Yeah. You sprinkle a little bit of olive oil, put the cheese, put it in the sandwich toaster thingy, get it out. Beautiful. Beautiful.
What kind of cheese is this? Because feta doesn't really melt, bro.
No, it's not. I don't eat feta. Remember? It's
that's right.
It's called Spanish cheese. I don't know.
Where are you buying it, at the dollar store?
No, it's actually it's an Arabic cheese, but in Arabic they call it Spanish cheese. And in Spanish and in America they call it Chicago cheese. I don't know how to explain it.
Okay, now we have to look at what the hell Spanish cheese is.
I
have never.
Is it right here, like I'm looking at it. It is made from pasteurized milk.
So is it Manchego? It's not Manchego, is it?
No. If you're looking, Manchego shows up, and then you scroll down, the sponsored one, that block of cheese right there.
There's blocks and blocks of cheese, dude. I don't know what's.
So that you melt it, and it's like the most delicious thing ever. Sam's Club has the best version of it.
Yeah, I think Cersei is right. This is from like Temu. They're like Spanish cheese.
It's not even cheese. It's just ease. You get it, and you're like, wow, this tastes really good. What kind of milk is this made from? Just an Asian guy comes up. Oh, no milk.
It's milk substitute, sir.
So I'll be at Anfield in a couple of weeks.
Oh, that's right.
And I'm doing this now publicly because I messaged you on Discord and you didn't reply. I need some American Scouser gear because I want to wear
glad
it.
You said that. See, I'm glad you said that because then
now people will buy. Yes, I need that amazing gear
by saying, yeah, here's the link where you can buy them from.
I need the amazing gear of American Scouser. need a hoodie that says American Scouser, maybe a scarf because I'm gonna be in the cup and I'm gonna be singing "You'll Never Walk Alone." And they're gonna see me and they're gonna be like, "All right, that's an American," and then they're gonna zoom in on me. So like, I'm trying to.
First of all, I don't think they're gonna appreciate that. They're like, "Is that a stupid American? What is he doing over there and stuff?" We don't have scars, unfortunately, but I just shoot the link for your information as well, where you can go to our friends at jlffashion.com who sponsor and host our basically our merchandise available right now. I got to put that red hat that I know John really wants. I have to make sure that's on there as well for everybody. But yes, so you can head over. That's a lot of like shameless promotions going on today.
No, it's okay. I did that on purpose.
Yeah, I did get that message, and I was like, he must not have the link.
No, I want the link, but I don't have it. So send it over. Let's get that hoodie so I can go in there and be like, "All right, lads, it's American," and then like have a good time. And then I'm sure they're gonna look and be like, why the fuck does it say American Scouser? Like, what is this idiot doing here? But you know what? It's gonna be a good time.
Over the years, the funny thing is, the other day I was in this WhatsApp thing, and this new dude came on, and he was like, "Dude, that is like an excellent name and stuff." And I'm like, "That's the first time I had that reaction." Really, like, I mean, honestly, it's half-half. When we first came up with the name way back in the day, it was kind of half-half, and over time there has been a lot of like stupid resistance, like you can't be an American and a Scouser at the same time. But thank God, this is the only reason I like Costas, because he suddenly, like 6 months after he came, he was the Greek Scouser. I was like, aha, so you can be a different nationality and a Scouser at the same time.
Now that you say that, I'll see if I want to wear something that says that, because I don't know if you see on social media or not how they like take pictures of people that are not from town at the stadium. It's like, oh, look at these day trippers.
That's even better. Like, you'll go viral. Look at this shirt.
Yeah, and then I'll get all the comments. Isabellan, lad, Isabellan. I'm like, really, dude? Oh yeah, I can't get a ticket myself because I'm from the city. But
I kind of get that in a way. When especially you feel, I mean, okay, here's the thing. People think that is what drives up the ticket prices, I think. And I understand that to a certain extent, because it probably is true. Because there are people, I mean, the ticket you're paying is a lot more. Nobody in Liverpool is going to be like, "Oh, that sounds like a great deal. Let me go to the Newcastle game," or whatever, right? But I think that's what people think. That's one. And two, you get a lot of tourist thing. I don't know if I probably would do this. Like, let me ask you that. Like, if you are in Spain having some Spanish cheese, all kinds of Spanish cheese there, having some Spanish cheese, I mean, I would probably, if I'm in town, we try to do that. We do this with Angie now, like, even if you don't follow the sport, we went in like Vegas, we went to the Golden Knights game. American sports are different because it's made for you anyway. Everybody would like half the place was tourists, right? But like, if you were in Barcelona, would you go to like a Barcelona game? If they happen to be in town, like at home that week, I would probably go just to check out the stadium and the environment and stuff. But if we go there, we're not going to sing and dance and all that kind of stuff. We're there just to soak it in. We're going to take,
Correct.
I'm not a picture guy, but Angie will shoot a video or something like that, and then we'll send it to the girls. We're like, "Oh, this was really cool." I'm assuming it's cool because it's a huge ass stadium and stuff. And then you would go. I think other people look at that and be like, "I could have been in that seat." Not to mention you're raising the price of the seats.
Yeah. I look at this two different ways. Way number one, the game's been so monetized that corporates and all these people are getting more seats than the fans, and that's pretty sad. When I was at the World Cup in Qatar, I actually was able to attend the final because my friends are pretty, they're big family in Qatar. The CEO of PSG
in Qatar. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, essentially. So the guy that PSG, Nasser Khalifi, his son is one of my closest friends. We went to the final just by being that. And then we went to the corporate section, and dude, it's packed. It's so packed. But the fans, the Argentinians, couldn't get tickets to the final. And I thought that was really sad.
Yeah.
The Kiev Champions League final, I was able to get tickets easily, but the locals couldn't. Locals had to sign up in a draw basically to get tickets. I didn't have to. I think that's shitty. This Newcastle game, I was able to get a hospitality package ticket, which in the US, by the way, that's considered so cheap. I mean, you're paying $300. like $326 gets you a hospitality ticket. Really good seat, 2 meals, transportation, and everything. I went
Wait,
to the
that's
Pittsburgh.
$326. I thought it was a lot more than that. I thought it was a couple of grand.
No, it was like 300. That's what I thought too. But
No, I thought everybody said
$326.
it was like, you can get hospitality, but it's really expensive.
No, there's hospitality package that range in all prices. But I think the most expensive one was like $614. But the only one I found was the Kemp's Lounge. That's the only thing that was available. We tried to find me a different one. They booked it and then they canceled it. And I messaged Barack. I was like, dude, I just got canceled. Like, I don't know if I'm going. And then they emailed me 2 days later. It was like, oh, we got an opening here. And this is only the price. So you're going to get back $240 something. Okay, cool. But that's cheap because I went to a preseason game and each ticket was like $286 in the US. And it was a worthless game. I get to go to a big game, Newcastle, 2 teams that are fighting, they're fighting to win the league. Newcastle trying to be in the top 4 at Anfield for that little amount of money. But see, you say that to a local, that's a lot of money because they're paying 20 and 30 pounds, because they're season ticket holders and locals. So I see where they're coming from because somebody like me can just come in, throw money at the club and get a really good seat with a meal and all this shit, while the locals can't even get into the game because it's too expensive. And 2, it's been monetized to the outside. And I hate that for the locals. I hate that the locals are now a secondary option. They want the money from the outside.
Fair, you would not. Well, maybe you would. You're the mattress king of Michigan, but I mean, you would not spend like $350 a week either. This is more, it's not once in a lifetime, I guess, but it's like a trip. It's an occasion. It's almost like going to the Caribbean or whatever.
Yes,
you know what I mean? It's
exactly.
kind of like that for you.
It's an experience.
Yes,
yeah,
exactly.
So like
you're buying an experience ultimately.
It's a 2-minute walk. You're in there. You're out. For me, it's an experience. I'm taking a 10-hour flight, and I'm gonna stay at a hotel, and then I'm gonna go. It's a full experience. And the big difference is, again, the local just gets to go and come out. I gotta fly that 9 hours and 40 minutes. I got to book a hotel. There's another $400 that I'm going to drop right there. And then, so essentially it's going to end up costing me in the thousands versus if I was a local, it'll cost me in the singles. But then again, I see where they're coming from. I saw this guy on Twitter who posted a picture of a tourist. I don't support this, but posted a picture of a tourist. The game is on. The tourist has got his significant other with him. The significant other is on the tablet or whatever, playing a game. And the gentleman is just he's wearing a Man City scarf with a Liverpool jersey, and he's just on his phone recording the whole time. No atmosphere, no singing, nothing. And I feel like that's a wasted seat.
The Barcelona game that I was mentioning.
That would be, but I wouldn't go to a Barcelona game in a Liverpool kit. Well, not even. I wouldn't go to a Barcelona game in a Real Madrid kit. Real Madrid scarf. Like, come on, what are we doing?
Probably go civilian. I'm not gonna sell out either.
Yes,
I would go
just
civilian and then
just get a t-shirt. Yeah, just a normal ass outfit. Yeah, so that's where I am. I'm gonna lose my voice when I go. I'm gonna sing my lungs out and I'm gonna go bananas and I'm gonna live the experience. But I'm sure the locals look at it as those people who just come in and they're on their phone the whole time. Why are you here?
Yeah, I can see that, getting people irked, and I don't blame them for getting irked. I just don't like the generalization though. Because let's face it, we've had games where, so when there is no atmosphere there, you can't put that on entirely on tourist fans either.
Yeah,
I mean, that's like the fine balance. Because there are games where it's kind of like I remember there was a game against like Burnley, and it felt like a library in there. They were like, well, it's got to come from the pitch and stuff like that. So it's like, okay, well, you can't come. I mean, those were not all tourists. So it's like the same thing. I think in most cases, those people there are actually to see the atmosphere.
Oh, yeah.
And they would contribute to it. I mean, like when we go to the World Cup, I mean, if Turkey doesn't qualify, for example, I was telling Angie, we should just find a game. My brother's thinking of visiting. Just find a game and just go hang out with whoever, like maybe Japan or whatever, you know what I mean? Like just hang out with them and, like cheer for their team and stuff like that, but kind of like get the experience and see what they do and stuff like that. So I feel like in that sense, you kind of get sucked into the atmosphere and you contribute that way. I'm not going to start stuff with the Japanese people. Like if I'm like in the middle of this, like, come on, let's go. Let's get the Mexico wave going over here. It's just like, I'm not going to do that. But if they're like, whatever they're doing, I'm going to try to be involved because that's what I'm there for the experience.
Right.
Ultimately.
I'm here for the experience and the atmosphere. Yeah. And I guess that's just one way to look at it. The other way is to the local fans, you want to let them know tourists are not your enemies. They also love the club. They support the club. So we wake up at 6 a.m. to watch a game. We wake up
Yeah.
at 5 a.m. We wake up at 7 to watch a game. And, we're also spending money to watch these games, to buy these kits, to whatever it is. In a way or another, we support the club as well. And, it's crazy to say, but without the foreign support, a lot of these clubs would go broke.
Oh yeah, that's why
because they rely on making the locals happy with the low prices, and they rely on the outside to get in the money. And that's just simple as that. Now, also, the foreign players are a big part of the club. These foreign players come in and they bring their own fan bases. Liverpool signed Endo, and before him, Minamino, and then Japan Airlines becomes a sponsor at the club. And now there's the Japan Airlines Lounge where it's like $1,000 to get in there. So these things bring money slowly to the club. And just imagine if you want to keep it all local. Imagine having 11 Curtis Joneses. Like, holy shit. That would be...
By the way, the other day, I think maybe the Everton game, I thought I saw something like the first time ever that Liverpool did not have an English player in the starting 11. I don't know if that was accurate or not, but I saw it on like a website. Yeah. Because, obviously Trent was injured and, Jones came on
but
later.
Bradley started.
He's not English.
Oh, he's Irish. He's Northern Irish.
I don't know if that was true or not. That's what I saw over there. But I mean,
Wow.
yeah, I know exactly what you're saying. A lot of this money comes from. I mean, the entire Premier League rights is not because they're broadcasting it in the UK. It's because they're selling it to Peacock and all these people, and that's where the money is coming from.
Correct.
You can't, and that's what the fantasy of keeping the club local but having universal funds is just not possible.
Yeah.
Having said that, I do see some Facebook groups where there's I think people feel, and to a certain extent they might be right, like the locals, like the Scouser, people from Liverpool. This is Kazi is, well, it's Valentine's Day related, I guess, but not in a good way. He's out taking care of something. But I think people feel that a lot of the international fans, and I grew up like this, like when I was a kid, right? I don't know if you were the same way, but I had a different team that I liked in each league. I was a Fenerbahce fan with the grandfather, the entire family and stuff like that. But, I liked Juventus in Italy. If it was an Italian, Spanish, I rooted more for Madrid and stuff, growing up. I feel like a lot of these people have grown up like that, and they are still like that. And I think they realize that, Liverpool is doing well now, so they're here, but then they will go, and you see those people being a lot more fickle in some ways.
Yeah.
Some of the stuff they say in these groups and stuff like that, I can understand why somebody from Liverpool will be like, yeah, you guys are not actual fans. You guys are just here for the,
Again, we could see it in all ways. Yeah, I agree. I don't disagree. Somebody like me, I was essentially grandfathered into being a Liverpool fan since I was younger because my dad was, and he was, a fan in the 70s and 80s and 90s. So I grew up and I was like, okay, kind of built into it. I didn't even know I was a Liverpool fan. Yeah, I would just
kind of like how I was a Fenerbahce fan.
I just was.
And you would live in the yards if you said I like another team.
98, we're watching Michael Owen. He makes me like Michael Owen. I like Michael Owen. It's just these
things. You should have your hair like Michael Owen too. Was that a thing?
At the time, this is actually embarrassing now that we're talking about 98. In 98, I actually had my hair like Fabien Barthez, the French goalie. I went bald for him.
Are you serious?
I am not joking. When I was a lot younger, I wanted to be a goalie. When I was younger, I wanted to be a goalie, and Barthez was the goalie I wanted to be like. So I went and shaved my head bald myself.
So what is the family reaction when that happens? Great, we don't have to pay for.
Everybody died laughing. Everybody died laughing. There's pictures of it too. It's very bad.
Yeah, we want those pictures actually. Bring it.
It's very bad.
Next show. We need.
You could tell I cut my own hair.
Okay, speaking of, this was one of the things that was posted. So Villa actually requested to move this game. Well, thanks to them, but it has been rejected because I guess they have 5 games in 14 days. Ours is in 15 days, but this goes back to the money making thing in terms of like the schedule and like the number of games. It's only getting worse, and it's probably gonna. I mean, if it was up to like FIFA and UFA and stuff, they would have these guys play every day. And I did
Dude,
see some
yes.
ridiculously stupid comments on Twitter. If you see this post on Twitter and then read some of the comments, this dude literally says, "So what's the big deal? I work not 10 days straight from like 7 to 4 or something like that." I'm like, bro, I don't think it's the same thing. First of all. There were like two, and it's like if it was like one moron, you're like, you know what a moron. But when it's a couple of people, it's like, do you guys, people unclear of the concept, kind of things like, do you guys not get what these?
No,
guys
it's
do?
always the ones that are like, oh, a bunch of overpaid boys that don't want to play football. Dude, it's not like that. It's
Playing
not
a
like
kid
that.
game, yeah.
Yeah, I used to play 5 soccer games a day. You really? Okay.
But I mean, that's the problem. Here's the thing with these schedules and stuff, though. All you're doing is, I think you're like kind of destroying, and this is why we're heading towards the Super League, people. Is I feel like you are, we talked about this before, but you're diluting the other leagues because all these teams, I mean, look at Liverpool, look at our bench, look at any, I mean, Premier League. Slot was talking about it today in terms of, you know, the Premier League being so good that I like Cunha is in a team that's 17th in the league and can probably play in any of the top 5 teams. Whereas in the Dutch league, the guy in the 17th position is probably not going to make himself into a squad in the top team and stuff. So the level of player is higher. And then now you have to add squad depth to that because of the number of games. Well, where are these people coming from? They're coming from all the, you know, the Dutch league, Portuguese league and stuff like that. And it feels like you're diluting those leagues. They are now going and hunting young kids and stuff in South America and Africa and stuff like that to be able to kind of like keep up with it. And then, I mean, they're more than happy. Let's face it. They go find a 17-year-old Brazilian guy, the kid, and then 2 years later, they sell them for like 40 million to City or something like that. But I feel like the level and the quality of the game is going to diminish more and more in those leagues because you're just diluting them.
And honestly, that's exactly what's going on. Like, you know, let's look, I don't know. Let's look at 15, 20 years ago when there was less games being played. How many injuries did we see? Not so much. Versus now there's continuous injuries. Now teams have whole departments for preventing injuries and teams have full teams to rotate. I feel like the game, and I said this last summer, I feel like the game is now more focused on the money versus the value, versus they don't care how good the football is. They just care how much it's going to pay. And that's taking things away. And, you know, Florentino Perez wanted to run the Super League. UEFA said, no, don't do it. Then they ran their own version of it, which is this new Champions League format. That's literally what the Super League would have been. Bigger games, the big teams stay, the small teams leave. To their surprise, Brest made it. But you know, it's just they want to do everything to make more money, and that's what Perez was talking about. That it's just a monopoly now, and it's ruining the smaller leagues. You know, now the Portuguese teams, Ajax has always had one of the best football academies to ever exist. Now all they do is they get the academy player, they grow him, and they're like, okay, soon a team is going to come in for him and pay us the $50-60 million. I mean, if you go back 8-9 years ago, Le Havre bought Riyad Mahrez for nothing, and then they sold him for 400,000, and that was a gigantic profit. In today's market, Le Havre would ask for like 70 million to sell Riyad Mahrez. And this is what I'm talking about. It's just ruining the idea of the game when it comes to the love of it versus it's just the value of it. How much money can we make?
To be fair, I mean, I know I would watch like Fenerbahce has players now. I mean, they're like, you know, they have a lot of like actually like top-notch players in the older end of their careers, but then like Tadic and Dzeko and, you know, like Kostic and stuff like that. Like Fred is over there, Amrabat and stuff like that. But even if the Turkish league keeps like getting less and less and you like the quality lowers, they know that we're still going to watch it.
Yes,
like, I would still watch it. Doesn't you would? Well, I don't know if you would play for Fenerbahce. I would watch it. I would try to avoid it, but you know what I mean. Like I would still watch it because it is still Fenerbahce and stuff like that. And I think they know that it's kind of like a drug. I can make that. If you're an addict, I can give you the crappiest version. You're still gonna eat it up because You're an
It's
addict.
what we do. I mean, we watched Liverpool under Roy Hodgson. I mean, trust me, we have been there. We had Jovanovic starting up top. We've been through it. I think that there we will.
Yes, so Steve says, let's get to that game. How do you think that I mean, if you're Wolves, you're like, God damn it, like you're walking into this as opposed to maybe if I'm a Wolves fan, I would have rather Liverpool kind of escape with a 2-1 win and the 3 points and a bit more relaxed than this version of Liverpool, who could be a little bit pissed. But at the same time, I don't know. It's like a totally different game. I don't know if it's good. Do you think it carries on over at all? Because it's not like Oliver is coming with like wearing a Wolves jersey, so we can take it out on him.
I actually think it does carry on. It's for two reasons. Reason number one, Liverpool need to prove that we are that team to beat. We are the best team. We are going to win the league. And the second thing is to bounce back for the players. Because listen, they showed the replay of the goal from like the other side of the pitch, and Mo Salah's just like smacking his arms around and like smacking his head, and he's very unhappy. You can look at the Szoboszlai, he's just throwing his hands up. So the players were clearly disappointed. You bounce back, you get to bounce back a couple of days later and prove a point and show that you're still the team to beat. Absolutely, it's going to carry over. And then, of course, Oliver, Liverpool need to show the league and the referees association, everybody involved, that we're not the bad guy. You just had a really bad ref running this game, because my goodness, that's one of the worst performances I've ever seen. And I don't know what's going to happen to Slot, if he's going to remain suspended after this or not, but my goodness, is just so unfair. He did acknowledge that he made a mistake though, so don't think he should.
Yeah, I think that was to ease the pain, right? He was like, I would have done it differently and stuff. Even talked about your boy Jones, who now is
a hero,
sweetheart, Valentine of everybody, because of what he did. Even though after he would have good games and people like you would still diss him and stuff, but yeah, I mean, he's probably the winner out of this. Honestly,
yeah, he is the biggest loser and biggest winner, because he's now suspended. He can't play for another match, whatever. But he's the biggest winner because he's the hero.
By the way, I don't know if you caught this in the pre-match press conference. They asked him about Jones being suspended, and he said something like, "It's the second yellow, right? So it's only one game, I think, because it's one game." Because he said it will be one game in the Dutch league. I don't know if it's the same in the Premier League. Like, is he playing dumb, or can he not, like, really, when they're deciding squads, they're like, oh shit, forgot, is Jones gonna be able to play? Like, I was shocked that he would say that in the press conference.
He's playing that naive nice guy. It's so obvious. It's so obvious. He's sweetening his image. He's sweetening his, because remember, this guy came in as the calm guy, and he's made it clear, oh, I don't react. 6 games in, he's he's going crazy. Halfway through the season, he's getting red cards, and that's his second red card of the season, isn't it?
Not red. I think he got a yellow. I don't think he got a red.
Didn't he get suspended one game and he was in the stands? We ran a game without a manager.
I don't remember. Did he? I don't remember him getting suspended.
I think this is
back-to-back yellows or something. I just don't have like.
I think he accumulated the 3 yellows,
something like that, maybe. Yeah.
Yeah, but this guy came from being the nice guy to the guy that's just a piece of shit. I love him. I think he's great.
I'm just shocked that somebody didn't follow up. Like, seriously, you don't know this? Like, are you messing with us?
Yeah, I think they know what's going on and they kind of let it go. I just love the handshake. He shakes Oliver.
He has to have said something. I don't think it's the handshake that gets you.
Well, he said, I said good game, but the lip reading folks saw him telling the assistant referee, you're an effing disgrace. This is an effing disgrace. So I think it carried over, and then he went to Oliver and he's like, you a B too, like he must have said something.
He has to be saying something. I don't know. It's weird because, yeah, I guess depends on the situation. I mean, you speak multiple languages. Do you pick and choose when you say what?
Oh yeah. When I want to say nasty shit, I say in Arabic.
So the good thing is, like, especially when the kids were younger, I would use, if it's going to go vulgar in traffic, it would just go into Turkish kind of a thing. After a while, I didn't care. So I was like, welcome to the world, kids.
After a while, they're correcting you. You're saying it wrong, Dad. That's not how you say it,
But yeah, I guess, like, I would, if I went to Oliver, I would probably like swear in English and stuff like that.
Oh
But
yeah,
I
he had
mean,
to make
no,
it fluent.
especially for him. I mean, I would, because obviously I live here, but you can still see Slot not knowing certain words, like he's doing the tourist. How do you say here? Kind of a thing sometimes in the
Yeah,
press conferences. So
yeah,
I was shocked that I would be shocked that if that's what he said. Especially a disgrace is kind of like a weird word to use for like a foreigner in a second language when you're
and
swearing. You're
Slot
not
wouldn't say
as
disgrace. He would say disgrace. You know, so it's I don't even believe he
disgrace,
said disgrace.
but
It's a
I mean, you
disgrace.
wouldn't be as articulate swearing in
Yeah,
a second language. Is my
yeah,
point.
yeah. No, he said something nasty.
So Wolves game starting 11. Let's do that real quick. Gakpo is a doubt. So when somebody is a doubt, I assume, especially since you have options, you're not going to risk something and lose him for 3 games now.
Yeah,
So you kind of rest him and hope that he is ready for Villa. So that probably pushes Diaz back to where he should be. I feel like
yeah,
Diaz gets so much crap. Yeah, Stephen Cook says Diaz start on the left. I think he gets so much crap. I think this is a good opportunity for him to show what he can do where he actually plays on the
yeah,
wing, kind of a thing.
yeah.
And then Jota in the middle, or
I
your
think he goes
exploit.
Darwin in the middle. I think he goes Darwin in the middle. I don't think Jota's ready to do a full game start.
Oh, okay.
Only what I think. So I think he goes Diaz, Nunez, Salah, and then we do see Jota in the second half. The usual midfield, the trio that will always be there. I think Trent starts in the right back this game. So we go Trent, Ebo, Verge, and Robo. So I think the only difference we're going to see is in the front three where we do Diaz, Nunez versus instead of Gakpo Diaz.
That's interesting. I'm torn on the Trent thing. I am torn on the Trent thing. I'm not sure. Who did you say for left back? Robertson or Costas?
Robo, yeah.
Robo. Okay.
I don't think he starts Tsimikas.
I almost feel like you look at the City game, you plan the City game, and then I know it's too far ahead and try to work backwards, but I don't know. Like, would you rather? Let me ask you this: Villa and City games are more trickier on paper. City is going to be a bit more tired. They're going to be coming from probably a demoralizing Madrid trip, right?
Yeah.
But do you want Trent? I'm sure you want Robo, so I'm not even going to ask that. You better want Robo as left back.
Yeah, I do want Robo.
Who would you want? Like, at which game would you want Trent? Like, I definitely need Trent that game. Which game would that be?
If it was a definite, like it a must happen, I would want him at City.
Okay.
But I think to get him in at Wolves is a good start for, even if he's not 100% fit. We saw him play a couple of minutes at Everton. He actually did quite okay. A few good balls. I would start getting him back in against Wolves, even if he plays 60 and then you go to Bradley and then you full him at Villa and then you full him at City. But I am definitely, I want the strongest team available tomorrow, Sunday. I want the strongest team available. We got to make a point.
I think it might be a 60-30 on this one where Trent goes the first 60. And then you kind of reverse that maybe for Villa and then start him against City.
Yeah,
that kind
just
of
ease him back in. And again, tomorrow's game, Sunday's game, not tomorrow. You got to go full strength because this is your bounce back game after what happened at Everton. We blew the lead. We didn't deserve the lead, to be honest, but we blew the lead. So your best way to bounce back is to go out there, get a statement win. And then ever since, Wolves got Pereira, their new manager, they've been in this nice little run, ups and downs, but they're playing beautiful football. So why not go out there as strong as you can, get the win, take a deep breath, go to Villa, and then go to City. I think if we get 3 wins out of the next 3 games, I want to say the league is 75% done. And I do want to actually look at Arsenal's fixtures, but
they go away to Leicester tomorrow. So that's not really a
win.
tough game.
My boy Rude's got him.
They have West Ham, and I think they have away to Forest, which is the tough game.
And then they go, oh, look at that. And then they go to United, and then they go to Chelsea, and then Fulham, and then I win the next 3 games. Arsenal will drop points. We'll be okay. Just win the next 3 games.
Yeah, I think when I did this next 5 pictures, how many points? I think the consensus was 11 we need out of the 15, which would mean you need to get 3 wins and a draw out of the next 4, which includes obviously this Wolves game, Villa away, City away, Newcastle home, right?
Newcastle
obviously, you're
home.
going to be there.
Yes. Now, here's the thing. The City game is the least scary of them all. Honest to God. And I'm not trying to be like funny. The City game is the least scary
You're actually
game
funnier
for
when
me.
you do that. But anyway, go on.
Yeah. The City game is the easiest game for me because of what City's going through. And then you go in there with the force that Slot has got going on and the team that Liverpool has going. As long as you beat Wolves and you beat Villa, you're going into City strong. Because you said it. They're going to be coming back from a disappointing trip to Madrid. They've played midweek. They're going to play a game. They're going to go back to Spain. I mean, it's not easy. And honestly, they panic bought. They went panic shopping. And it's just not fitting in yet. Is it going to work out? Absolutely. But just not yet. And Pep is not all there. So the City game out of all these games would be the easiest game to go out away and win. Like, I'm more confident City away than Villa away. I'm more confident City away than, I don't know, anybody else away.
Really? Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
not. Just because, I mean, the Villa and City games scare me mainly because they've added some people that, even if they're not playing the best game or whatever, that can make a difference and do something that's like, damn, and get him a goal kind of a thing. Like, even if it's Asensio, Rashford, whoever, for Villa. And then you look at City, obviously they have people who can kind of hurt you. The thing is, I feel like we would score against City. I feel a lot more confident that we will score against City compared to scoring against Villa, for example, oddly.
Yeah, and that's why this, to me, like, that's why going to Villa to me is harder than going to City. The names they picked up, the way Unai Emery plays, the way this team is set up, they're set up to give us a hard time. They don't play that open football. They play that closed football. They play that high, the high line, the kind of football we don't like to go up against. But then you go to City, and what are they playing? Do they even know? It's been a mess. It hasn't been a Pep set team. It's been a team that, yes, Pep is watching, but really isn't what he wants to see. And that's why I would say going to City is easier than going to Villa. And we'll see. Maybe they'll turn their season around in the next 3 weeks and they'll beat Madrid and they'll beat everybody. And you don't know because they did sign some really good names. Marmoush hasn't gotten going. Once he gets going, that's a whole different world if he keeps up the same form that he had in Germany. Now, if his Germany season is only because it's in Germany and he flops in England, that's great for us because I don't want him getting a Spurs goal against Liverpool. That'll piss me off.
That will piss me off as well. Ben White is back for him. He must really be tanned because he's been out for a while, so he has to be
Ben
fully
White
tanned and perfectly orange. Saka out for another 8 weeks. Obviously, Havertz is out. I don't know, man. It's an Arsenal team that's relying on Sterling to pick up the slack. That says a lot by itself because he's going to be gone by the 30th minute too. I don't see Sterling putting 90 minutes after 90 minutes, especially once the Champions League starts. Yeah, just running around like a T-Rex. So that's just not going to happen. I don't know. I just don't have any hope this weekend, I guess, against Leicester. So we do have to win these next 2 games to make sure we're keeping that, because you don't want to give him hope and drop it down to 5 points and stuff like that. Like, we're almost there. I still don't think they beat us at Anfield, but you don't want to leave it to that or anything. Like, just don't want to leave the hope. Just put them out. They're already kind of demoralized. And the only thing they're going for themselves right now probably is everybody's counting us out, guys, kind of a thing. And then if you lose a couple of points, then it's going to be, oh, shit, this is why everybody's counting us out. As opposed to if they keep winning and lowering the point differential, it's going to give them hope. And you got to kill the hope. It's the hope that kills you. So you got to kill it.
And Leicester, we're clear. Leicester won't be a tough challenge for them. But listen, if Leicester play the same way they played the first 60 minutes against United in the Cup, they could get a draw. Now, granted, they won't.
Well, granted, that was United's too.
Yeah, they won't. But if they do for any good reason, they could get a point out of it. I highly doubt it. Yeah, but same. I'm always that hopeful kind of person. Like, oh, but if they do this, it's not gonna work.
Yeah.
But
what happened? I thought you were so big on your boy. Rude.
Honestly, I still am, and I think, and I think if he keeps them up, I think it's a win for him. But let's see how it goes. Again, he's not the greatest coach to ever exist, but I think he's the man to turn their season around. I never said he's the greatest coach ever. I did say he's doing a great job.
You're like, Rude is coming.
Yes, and I did say he was doing a great job after the 2 first wins. And I will stand by if he keeps them up. Well done to him, because that team is designated to go down. That team was set up to go down.
I mean, that's basically the way this whole thing has panned out. Is that's what we're basically looking at right now. It's 3 out of the 4 is what it looks like anyway. Um, Honestly, I look at those teams and it feels like Wolves has so much more. First of all, they can score goals. That's not the biggest difference there. You can see
the
the
names
34 to the 25. But I just feel like, they have more overall. Ipswich has that, like, when we're home, we battle kind of a thing going, but I just don't think they make it. If anybody, I would hope Ipswich makes it, but I think Wolves do make it. There's the huge gap now. Like there were like West Ham and Everton, they're not in danger.
Yeah,
anymore. They've kind of pulled away.
That conversation's out the window. Now they're looking at like, can we finish in the top 10 instead of 15? Yeah. I think Ipswich are toast. I think Southampton, definite toast. Because I mean, look at Everton. How many points Everton have? So
27.
Everton 27 to be 10. You just need 6 points. It's 7 points. It's really not that off. And Brighton have been so inconsistent. And I think they play Chelsea today, right?
I don't know. You say that, but when you got them 27 points from 24 games, 7 points is a lot.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, 7 points is a lot. That is true.
That's like what you got in like 8 games.
Yeah. No, Ipswich are going down. Southampton are going down. I think Leicester are going down. Wolves have the names. They've been playing the better brand of football. But if Ruud manages to keep them up, we'll have the conversation in the summer.
I mean, yeah, Hassan is right. At the end of the day, you keep winning, they're not going to catch up. It's just that I know we will drop points, but I really think Arsenal will drop more points.
We know for sure Arsenal will drop points to us because they're coming to Anfield. It's not like we're going to Emirates. They're coming to Anfield. I think they still have like I said, they have a United game, they have a Chelsea game, they have a West Ham, they have a Forest game away. So it's still doable. They're going to drop points.
Oh, they're definitely going to drop points. I mean, yeah. I mean, if you look at their schedule, I was looking at that. I mean, that run right there is, I'll be honest, they're going away to Everton. And I know Everton won't play with the same intensity they played against us, but that's a tough place to go to. It's a very physical team and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, United away is similar to, I know it's not the same feeling for them as Liverpool, but for the players, it's one of those games that, you can kind of make your case by yourself another 3 weeks by getting a good result kind of thing. West Ham, I don't think will give him trouble. Forest away is a tough one. United away is a tough one. Chelsea, you never know. Fulham is a good team. Everton, they go away to Ipswich. They still have Bournemouth. They still have Newcastle. It'll be funny. They do have Southampton away as their last fixture of the season. Who's our last game?
Usually it's Wolves. Who is it?
I know. That's why I was like, oh, it's not them. Who is it then? Like, who's our final game here? I was like, Everton.
Palace.
Who is it?
Crystal Palace.
Not too shabby, really.
But listen to this though. Listen to this. Okay, so we go. I'm gonna start in March. Southampton. Forget the cup game. Then Everton come to Anfield. Then Fulham. Then West Ham. And then Leicester. But then listen to this run. Spurs, Chelsea, Arsenal.
Yeah.
That could ruin a season.
I don't know. By then, I'm hoping it's done. Let's go that way. But I'm going to talk about his friend, your boy Rami tweeted this morning, right? Or
my boy Rami is saying that Slot wants Salah to stay, but the club isn't doing their job.
That's not what he said.
He's not going to write that directly. He's the most cryptic
mother yucker. How did you get that out of that? I thought it was like Slot. He's saying Mo loves Slot.
Yeah, Slot's doing an excellent job. His job is to run the team. He's doing great, but the people running the team aren't doing great. So he singled him out.
Mo loves Slot, or. I mean, I don't know how you got the owners don't, but I got Mo loves Slot, or if Mo leaves, it's not because of Slot.
What I'm saying, that's literally what I said. What you just said is what I said.
I mean, you Slot. Just took that. I took that as he loves Slot. Like
Mo is happy with Slot. He's doing a great job. Other people aren't, so that's why Mo could leave. Not because of this.
Yeah, you're Mr. Negative. That's why.
It's because.
Spurs are always the problem for. Honestly, it depends on the Spurs. I wish we played Spurs right about now. while everybody is out at defenses and shambles and stuff like that. But you know, that game is going to be tough, mainly because we embarrassed them in the League Cup, and they will try to make that right when they come back, because that was like an embarrassing loss for them.
We'll see if Ange is still in charge by then. That's the question. Is Ange going to be in charge when we play them? That could also make
that's a good point. And we're talking like 2 months. God knows if we'll be around. But hey, we'll be around on Sunday for the pre-match. So hopefully that's a given as of now. So we're with the pre-match. Do stay tuned. We might be doing a watch along for the goal rush tomorrow. So do stay tuned for that. We'll post in the social media if we are. Otherwise, we'll be here bright and early for the Wolves game pre-match. So have a great Saturday, everybody. Enjoy the Leicester win against Arsenal or whatever it might be. And we'll see you guys on Sunday. Take care.